Back on the SportsMax Zone, we're up to cricket now. Earlier on Wednesday, England women completed a 5-0 whitewash of the West Indies after beating them by 3 wickets at the Derby ground, and the final match of their T20 international series. In a match reduced to 5 overs per side due to rain, the West Indies batted first, posting 41 for 3 of their 5 overs. The Windies innings had 3 fours and 2 sixes. In reply, England made 42 for 7. They won with 3 balls to spare. Scores in the match, you see West Indies 42 for 3, England 42 for 7. So an unsuccessful trip to England for the West Indies women. They played poorly all season, and we have to say that they didn't deserve a better result than they got.
I wanted to be wrong this time. I've never wanted to be wrong before, but I wanted to be wrong when I said 5-0, because I really thought that well, it wouldn't do the cricket any good. But perhaps it is the right result, because this will compel Cricket West Indies now to have that inquest that I've been calling for, that we've been calling for here, into the state of women's cricket, and to draw a line under some things and through some things. Listen to this. This should have been a clash of equals. By that I mean teams of equal ability, with the series turning on the individual brilliance of top players on whichever side. That's what the series should have turned on, as it does turn when the top teams in men's cricket meet each other. This series was a powerful team, relatively speaking, beating a woefully inadequate team, underprepared. The physical conditioning of the ladies leaves a lot to be desired. Many of them, frankly, shouldn't be out there given their physical conditioning, and our superstar players just not firing at all. And when you consider, Lance and Mariah, that 8 of the England team will be playing in the Australian Women's Big Bash, guess how many West Indians will be playing in the Big Bash?
Stephanie and Haley?
Nope.
No?
So you say 2, you're off. Only Haley Matthews. She's with Hobart Hurricanes. She's the only one signed up, and her form is well documented, as we've said. So 8 of the England team going to Australia for the Big Bash. Only one West Indian. Argument done.
What I do know is you spoke about their physical form and a lot of them not supposed to be on the field. I think these Windies women need to go back now and do some reflection, do some introspection. They need to work on their mental ability too, because a lot of the decisions that were made on the field, just standing up there and doing what you're being paid as a batter, just bat. We only had a couple of them even getting double digits. Most of our batters just went back in. They walked out to the crease and they walked back right in. And even if we want to say the stronger of the two with the bowlers, even so, they still have a lot of work to do, a lot of misfields taking place. So what I will say to our West Indies women is you all need to go back home, really rethink what you're doing and come stronger the next time, because this can't continue.
Yeah, very, very tough to digest, and there was an interim coach assigned in Andre Coley, and it would have been a very harrowing experience for him. I'm not sure what CWI does going forward with the management and the coaching setup for this women's team, but it's going to be a tough job to rebuild this side, because even though we have mentioned many, many times that the nucleus of this squad is the same squad that won the World T20 back in 2016, the output, the production, the performance, it doesn't remotely resemble what they did back 4 years ago. And there has to be a lot of work done there.
Lance and George, before we wrap, I just want to say, I hope the Windies women, we're not bashing you alone. Cricket West Indies, they have a lot of answers as well. We have a lot of questions and they have a lot of answering to do, because when we spoke to Faz on the show, he was talking about what we see happening with the men's team is being mirrored in the women's team. So of course something doesn't seem right. Interim head coach, they don't even have a actual head coach. That says a lot.
Well, I'm just calling the performances as I see it. And Lance mentioned something about interim management and Andre Coley. Nobody could blame Andre Coley for what just happened. The tools that he was given, woefully inadequate for the battle that was ahead. And you notice I said England looked like world beaters relatively. They looked as if they're the best team in the world. West Indies look as if some of these ladies, some of the times, look as if they've never played cricket before. And I'm saying we are former world champions, World Cup finalists. We were not so long ago one of the very best women's cricketers. And as Lance keeps on saying ad nauseum, the same women who took us to the top of world cricket as one of the top teams, they're the same ones you're struggling now and looking as if They used to play Chinese skip, and are now being asked to play cricket. Cricket West Indies, they have a lot of answering to do, and 5-0 demands an inquest. And you have to answer, how is it that our players are so out of shape? Lance, you were the one who kept telling us, I don't know if you've said it on the show, but you certainly said it to us off air, that you were in Barbados for your regular vacation. You saw the Australian women when they came here for the series against the West Indies, and you were struck, well, you like attractive ladies, it's natural, nothing is wrong with that. You were struck by how lean and fit the Aussies were, and compared to our ladies who play for the West Indies, the answer is the Aussies are athletes, ours, relatively speaking, are not. They don't look the part.
No, it's cheese to chalk actually, and the Aussies have been playing New Zealand in a series here and dominating them as well. But if you look at the Australian girls, they look, a picture of fitness and athleticism, and that's a far cry from what we are seeing with the West Indies girls at the moment.
Lance even brought up the point about, our Windies women thinking they're stars in their own right, and, that being shown on the field. We have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, real disappointing. As we said, 2016 was a high point in the career of all of the girls, and so many of them now are still a part of the system, wallowing in this despair and lack of results.
All right, go to break.